The Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. And so, the war balloon carrying the Ironbreaker, Drogo Norgrimling, the master engineer Damin Cragbrow, and his 5 apprentices, found themselves under attack by a war wyvern, ridden by its orc master, Grod the One-Legged. The Black Gulf, in the year 1476 of the Imperial calendar. Avast! The wyvern is coming! Durak, Ronak, Kargrim, hit him with the rotary guns! Shred them wings!
It's not stopping it. They're still coming.
Shiver me timbers, if that beast gets his claws onto the balloon, it'll be the long dark sleep in the briny deep for all of us.
Cragbrow, leave it to me.
What? What are you doing, Anthragar? Anthragar!
8 World's Edge Steel!
Quickly, apprentices! The Anthragar is dangling off starboard! Pull him up! Now, as it happens, Drogo's killing of the wyvern and his rider was actually an anecdote I'd heard before I ever met him. One that was told to me as I sat with old Gensha on one of the quays of Barakvar itself. We two having not long left the city of Kofa to get there. I remember being struck by the similar ambience of the two cities, the cosmopolitan musk that permeated the air of both. But I was most gratified that Barakvar possessed none of the undercurrent of danger present in Kofa. In the dwarf hold, I felt I could truly let down my guard. Something that was certainly not true in Araby. The harbour of Barakvar in the year 1548 of the Imperial calendar. Oi! Did you finish swabbing yet, Septimus? There's someone I want you to meet. And if that's not incentive enough, I've got a bottle of ale for you. Aye, all done, Gensha. Ha, that's my boy. Get your backside down that gangplank and come sit with us. Now, that squarely hits the nail. Aye, Barakvar has some of the finest ales you can find. But Septimus, let us not be rude. May I present to you the dwarf sea engineer Grom Kargrim, a teller of tales, a traveller far and wide, and a former apprentice to the current guildmaster, Damin Cragbrow. Oh really? A pleasure and an honour. Your guildmaster is truly a remarkable dowie. I've followed his exploits ever since I was a lad. Well met, Manlin, and thank you. This is the one I was telling you about, Cargrim. My protege, I dare say. He's got a sharp, keen mind, and a memory the likes of which I've never encountered before. Always a pleasure to spend time with an inquisitive mind. We in the Sea Guild value that most highly. Now, Septimus, as a collector of tales, this should interest you. The sea engineer was just about to relate to me his encounter with a wyvern. Oh, really? You crossed paths with one of those filthy beasts? Please, enlighten us. You were right, Gensha. He's just as you described him. Oh. It was back in 1476. Me and my 4 fellow apprentices were accompanying the guildmaster, then merely a senior engineer, on one of the many escapades he undertook in his younger years. We were riding in his old war balloon. It was actually its second incarnation, if I recall correctly. We'd lost the first to a razorbill attack over the harbour of Barakvar, an unfortunate accident. Something about the pitch of the sound made by the propellers drove all the birds nearby into a frenzy, and they swarmed us like crazed death cultists, causing us to careen into the harbour's waters. Thankfully, the war balloon's gondola was both watertight and buoyant. In the following months, Master Cragbrow solved the propeller problem, although whether that was by luck or by design, I cannot say. But whichever, there was no repeat of the previous phenomenon. On this particular outing, we were helping an Ironbreaker, a Norgrimling if I remember correctly, rescue his brother from the clutches of some orc pirates. We just located the captor's boat, when, out of nowhere, a gigantic green wyvern, ridden by a fierce-looking orc, began tearing through the air, intent on tearing up our fragile balloon. By Cleo's quill. How did you all survive? Curb your enthusiasm, lad. It is right and polite to give the teller of a tale the time and space to pace their stories without interrupting. Excuse me, Master Dwarf. It is quite alright, Manlin. And our survival was a close-run thing, but our balloon was not wholly without defences, for the Guildmaster had fitted it with 3 rotary cannons. Rotary cannons? They're guns with 6 revolving barrels that you turn with a hand crank and are fed by hoppers. Hoppers? Hoppers are basically funnels into which you feed the ammunition. We had tin cartridges that held 40 rounds a box that we slap into the top of them. Gravity would do the rest. I thought that might leave you both speechless. I was actually manning one of these guns alongside 2 of my fellow apprentices, Durak and Ronak, as the wyvern swooped in for the kill. The Anthraga, the Ironbreaker, was with us. He bore the Guildmaster's own handgun. I can still hear the roar of our weapons now as we pour bullets into the beast, shredding wing and sinew, creating red geysers and blood blossoms, but also flashes of bright white as many of the projectiles ricocheted harmlessly away off the wyvern's bony carapace. Although the firestorm was fierce, it did not stop the beast. We still had one last card to play though. Ironbreaker. With our cartridges spent, my fellow apprentice and I braced for the inevitable impact. Suddenly, the Ironbreaker ran past us and leapt out the front of the gondola, hammer in hand, and determination writ across his face. The wyvern was all but upon us, but time seemed to suddenly slow down to a trickle as I watched the Ironbreaker jump. The Norgrimling arced across the dawn sky for what felt like an eternity, his eyes locking with that of the wyvern's rider as he flew, before time returned to its usual cadence, and he landed with a bone-breaking thud upon the creature's long neck. He instantly smashed his weapon across the back of its skull, audibly shattering its spine, breaking its neck, causing its head to loll. He was not finished though. In less time than it takes to blink, he'd struck the orc off the wyvern's back, sending him plummeting down towards the waters of the Black Gulf below. The Ironbreaker did not stop moving, immediately running up the green beastie's falling body and throwing himself back towards the gondola, somehow managing to grab hold of one of the ropes that dangled from it. I'd never seen the like. It was as if he'd become possessed by Grimnir himself. Obviously, we all immediately raced to pull him back up into the balloon. The Boyer's Brew Tavern, Saltcolton, in the year 1551 of the Imperial calendar. Just wait a moment, Drogor. I've heard that tale before, sitting on the docks of Barakvar about 4 years back. It was told to me by an engineer called Cargrim. Are you telling me that it was you in that story? You're the one who struck the wyvern out of the sky over the Black Gulf.
Ah, Cargrim. He's a good soul. Aye, that was me young scallywag. It was perhaps one of my more foolhardy moments.
The Black Gulf, in the year 1476 of the Imperial calendar. Bagrund these whiskers and Dragar. I can't believe it.
We've no time for wyverns. My brother is down there on that Urk boat. Unless there are any other monsters you need me to kill, you'll get me to him now, Master Engineer.